We all love the low country lifestyle, which is why we should do our best to protect it. To get insurance that helps you protect your home from whatever the low country throws at you, contact CT Lowndes and Company today. Their local agents can review your coverage to help make sure you're properly protected. CT Lowndes and Company has been helping protect and insuring the low country since 1850. Visit ctlowndes.com to learn more and request a quote. That's CTLOWNDES.com.
You're in a good place now. Relax, breathe, smile. You've entered into your element, the home of origin, the home of intelligence and beauty, where relevant topics are discussed, where what you think counts, and where superior is the norm. You are listening to Perspectives with Ashley Berges.
Hey, welcome back here live with Ashley Berges here on Perspectives. You've reached the Perspectives dial. You know where you're at, and you are happy you're there. And we're happy that you're listening tonight because we've got a lot to talk about, actually. We have a lot to talk about this evening. You know, I'm aware that many of our Perspectives listeners have been making and creating their own New Year's resolutions, which is really cool. And, you know, resolutions are really interesting things. You know, they can encourage, they can anger, you know, they can outrage. I mean, I guess some people, you know, but no matter what people say, if you created the resolution, right, you created it, and it means something to you. You know, if you go out of your way to make a resolution, then it has to mean something to you. If you actually have taken time to make a resolution, you've taken the time to definitely better your life and to definitely better your circumstances. You know, so hooray, hooray for you. You know, because it's very important that you understand that it's such a big deal. Because when we actually go out of our way to do something and we actually take the time to make a resolution, we're going to go on and play the clip right now that we wanted to play.
He's a jolly good fellow, Florrie's a jolly good fellow, Florrie's a jolly good fellow, and so say all of us, and so say all of...
So you are a jolly good fellow or female.
Even when you make a mistake, you're still a jolly good fellow, right?
You're still a jolly good fellow. That's all good. Yeah, so we had a caller earlier. We had some situations going on here in the studio because you know how it is. It's always drama over here at 570 KLIF. So anyway, we're having a good time there tonight. So, you know, hooray for you. You're doing a good job, you know, because you went out and about to do something. You actually created a resolution. You created it in the thought process that you wanted to change your life. And I think that's very commendable. You know, later on in the hour, you know, Bill and Dano and I are going to disclose our personal resolutions to our listeners. To you, the listeners, we're going to disclose our personal resolutions. And you'll have to wait around for that one. But, you know, before we talk about our personal resolutions, let's revisit last week's show a little bit, don't you think? Because I think that it puts it all into clear perspective.
Where's the Tylenol?
Yeah, I've been taking a lot of Advil lately, actually. I don't know.
Gee, I wonder why.
I don't know. I got off the Tylenol thing. I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel good about it, so I took the Advil. Now the Advil's helping. It's helping a lot. I don't know about y'all, but try Advil if you want to. But anyway, I'm not being endorsed by Advil in any way, shape, or form. So, you know, last week we talked about resolutions, and I gave you the Berges tools to creating the lasting resolution, right? Not just the one that you make and you break. Not the one that you say and you talk about, but you really never follow through with. And not the one that even if you went all the way to May of 2014 and then you break it. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the resolution that lasts well into 2015. Yeah, you heard me right. I said 2015. I said this last week and I'll say it again. The point is we're not trying to do something for like a couple of months. We're trying to do something for a lifetime. So in order to do something for a lifetime, you have to make it a habit. You have to make it consistent. And, you know, I think a good year is a good thing. I mean, if you don't think so, then try doing it like a few months and then build up to like the 6 months and then build up to the 9 months and then build up to the year, you know, because you're still going to get to 2015 or later if you follow these 8 concepts. They're not rules necessarily. You don't have to go by rules. There's no regulations here. None of that. We're just talking about how and what really works, okay? Because that's what it's all about, right? I don't need to tell you that you have to go out and do this, you have to go out and do that, or you have to do this special diet, or you have to buy this special vitamin D pill. Whatever it is, I'm not trying to like coordinate that with you. I'm just trying to help you actually make this a successful year for you, because I believe it can be for you. I know it can be. I know that 2014 is going to be your best year ever, and the years are going to get better from there. But this is a big stepping stone for you. It's a big deal because you actually believe in yourself to make the resolution. You know what? I'm going to help you make it a reality. And that's what's so cool, because you're going to be successful in 2014. So let's start. So remember last week, guys, you know, Dano, Billy Boy, you remember when we talked about, first off, making only one resolution. You can't have 2 resolutions. You can't have 5. And I remember, Dano, you were telling me about how your friend had like 7. And the idea of like quit smoking, quit drinking, quit doing this, quit carousing, quit doing all this stuff. And none of them ever happened.
Right.
Right? He didn't do any of them.
No. Well, he managed to quit the drinking, but then he smoked more.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He quit. He smoked more.
So
because he had to balance it out.
Yeah, so he did one, but he increased on the other.
See, that doesn't work. Listeners, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I mean, what he's saying is the gospel truth. If you try to quit smoking and drinking and all this stuff at one time, even if you quit smoking and drinking at the same time, it's going to be really hard. I mean, you know what?
Hallelujah. Amen.
Amen.
Preach.
Woohoo!
Preach,
yes,
preacher.
yes. Well, I will. I can sing a song here, too. We have the backup singers. You know, the thing is that you can't quit both. I mean, because it's too hard. I mean, I hate to say it, but in life, you kind of have to have at least one vice. No matter what the level of the vice is, you got to have some. For some people, vice is coffee. I mean, there's something. Caffeine. Some people say, hey, I have a drink a night. What's the big deal? You know, but the thing is, you can't quit all your vices at one time.
Yeah, for some people, it's adult movies. What?
Well,
what are you looking at me like that for?
You know,
what are you looking at me like that for? Dan, what are you looking at me like that for?
I'm not looking at him. Dano was looking at him, actually. I was actually keeping it together and looking down. Just looking right down. You know, no, that is the key. Exactly. It could be adult movies. It could be. It could be that. It could be cards, playing cards. It could be anything. You know, and so if you make one resolution and you stick with it, you're already 12% in the game. You know what I'm saying? You're already there. The odds are already stacked towards you winning, okay? You're not in Vegas anymore. You're not in Shreveport. And you're definitely not on some sort of cruise ship in the middle of nowhere with the odds 80 to 20 stacked against you. This is actually reality. You can actually win this deal. You know, the second thing we talked about was what? Believe in yourself, right? Goodness gracious. Okay. So you have to believe in yourself, no matter what you do. I don't care if you walk outside, if you walk into traffic. If you don't believe that you're going to be able to get through traffic, you're not going to get hit. You're probably going to get hit, right? You're probably going to get hit by a car leaving this place, by some crazy fan watching some game. The point is that who knows what's going to happen, you know, if you believe in yourself. So we talked about that last week, too, about believing in oneself. And I think we all three here believe in ourselves enough. I think sometimes we get down, though. Sometimes we get down on ourselves, right?
I mean, some days are better than others.
Yeah, some days are better than others. Sometimes you kind of feel like, oh, gosh, you know, I mean, I can't believe this, the weight of the world. But most of the time, you just got to, like, stick to it. And if it's a resolution that you can feasibly master, you should be able to believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. You know, the third thing we talked about was using your imagination. Use your imagination. Use the force, Luke. Use your imagination to see your resolution becoming exact reality.
Use the force, Luke.
I will. You know, because you have to, right? So this is how you do that. This is really quick. Easy breezy. So you just see yourself over and over again actually doing what your resolution says. So if it's, let's say, if it's eating better, or let's say if it was to get a job promotion, or if it was to do something specific, like, you know, following through or doing something like that, see yourself doing it. Watch yourself doing it. See yourself actually doing the process over and over again, you know, on a daily basis, even a weekly basis. Incorporate that into your logic, because honestly, what you see around you is a very interesting thing. It's not all reality. It can be, most of it is your perception, and not only your perception, but your perspective. The way you where you see the world is the way you see things, and not necessarily all real. So really, your imagination is the only reality you truly have. So see yourself doing it. You know, the fourth thing we talked about was sticking to it, right? Sticking to it, believing in it. And you know, Bill, last year, I remember when we were on CBS, we were talking about that, about you sticking with your weight loss.
Well, let me answer the phone here, and I'll be right back to you.
Okay, well, we got a phone call here. Sticking with your weight loss. And when he was sticking with his weight loss, he actually had to follow through. He had to stick to it. And that was so cool because he actually did, no matter if the chips were down or not. You know, the fifth thing is you want to always do your homework. You got to follow through with making your homework a reality. As far as if you're going to go back to school, figure out the school you're going to go back to. Figure out how to get back in. Figure out how to set it up. Figure out how to make it a reality. If you're going to quit smoking, that's a good one too. Have a backup. Have a backup process because you need a backup. You always need a backup. So you might want to try to go cold turkey. Cold turkey doesn't always work. Let's plan on it working, but in week 2 or 3 when your boss is kind of yelling at you or your wife or your husband's kind of getting on you, you need to have a backup. Whether it's the gum, the patch, the inhaler, whatever it is, you need to have it. And I think that always works. You know, you always want to surround yourself with like-minded people as well. If people are making changes and doing things in their life that's good, stay with them. Hang out with them. If you're hanging out with a bunch of people that are just doing the same thing over and over again, day after day after day, you're not going to get that far. And you're definitely not going to be able to get that resolution accomplished, I'll tell you that. You can't. You just won't because it's just too much holding you back. You know, the 7th thing is you want to hang around people who respect your resolution and respect your choices. So if you've made the choice to change, stick to it. Don't hang out with people that say that you should do the opposite. You know, and lastly, you want to catch yourself when you're making any excuses and getting in your own way because most of the time we are our worst critics. We also get in our way on about everything because we like to create drama in our own lives. We're going to talk about that later on in this hour. So when we come back, we got Bill, Dano, and I will let you in on our New Year's resolutions this year. You know, why we chose them, honestly. And later in the hour, we'll discuss the pitfalls we've already encountered. We'll also be discussing successful integration of your resolution and our resolution into.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Our daily life, how to actually successfully integrate that resolution. So stay tuned to be resolved on your resolution this year, 2014. It's going to be the best year so far. I know it for you. You're going to have a great year. So Perspectives with Ashley Berges. You know what? Guess what? We'll be back in 2 shakes.
You betrayed me. No, I didn't. Honest. I ran out of gas. I had a flat tire. I didn't have enough money for cab fare. My tux didn't come back from the cleaners. An old friend came in from out of town. Someone stole my car. There was an earthquake. A terrible flood. Locust. It wasn't my fault, I swear to God.
Turn it up and jump in the deep end on Perspectives with Ashley Berges. The water's warm and there's a swim-up bar. A glass of perspective, anyone? Now, here's Ashley.
You betrayed me. No, I didn't. Honest. I ran out of gas. I had a flat tire. I didn't have enough money for cab fare. My tux didn't come back from the cleaners. An old friend came in from out of town. Someone stole my car. There was an earthquake. A terrible flood. Locust. It wasn't my fault, I swear to God!
Hey, welcome back here live on Perspectives with Ashley Berges.
You need some decaf.
You need some he does need some decaf. You know, by the way, we are taking calls this evening, but we're only taking calls really on this subject matter. So if you have a call or a concern that has to do with the resolutions and New Year's resolutions, we'd love to hear them. Otherwise, we'll be taking other calls next week that we talked about. So thank you so much for listening. We appreciate that you listen, and we can't wait to hear from you next week. So, okay, we're talking New Year's resolutions. We're talking about New Year's resolutions. And I know that 80% of America makes New Year's resolutions. Okay? Some of you can say, I don't make one. Some people say, I make goals. And that's cool, too. And I got some Facebook messages as well as some tweets, as well as some personal emails and some, commercial emails telling me about different goal setting that people have made, and I respect that. It's kind of the same thing, but we're going to just define it as resolutions tonight, okay? So, last week, us three, Dano, Billy, and I, were talking about our resolution, but we haven't disclosed it yet. We haven't disclosed our resolution yet. All three of ours are different. They're all completely different. And some of them are more intriguing than others. Some of them are very juicy. Other are just, critical things that we have to do. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And we're going to lead off our discussion on New Year's resolution. We're going to lead them off with Dano. And I don't know, Dan, you actually texted me earlier tonight. And you said, hey, I made my New Year's resolution on the 1st. And it's about health and well-being. It's kind of in that category. And so, Dano, tell our listeners what your resolution is for this year, 2014.
Well, what I've decided to do is to start eating more healthier. Because working in radio, and I'm sure Bill can testify to this as well.
Hallelujah.
Your hours are so really, you don't know when you're going to work. And so the fast food places are the best choices. So you could be working like the morning shift, afternoon shift, or even like the late overnight shift. And so if you don't have time to sit down and eat, then that's your only other option. And so you find yourself spending like more money going there than you would just staying at home and eating at home. So what we've decided to do is just go to the store and just stock up on healthier foods at the house and just eat at the house.
So I think a lot of people actually listening to the show right now can actually fall into accordance with this. So you're at work, you go to work early, you drive by Whataburger in the morning. Or maybe during the day you have a 30-minute lunch. Or maybe you have a very short lunch. So you get some fast food, you bring it back, you eat at your desk. Or at your working nights, let's say. And so you go pick up the food, you sit there and you eat. And I watch y'all do it. I've seen y'all do it. I've seen you both do it. I've seen everybody in this complex do it. Every time. Radio is one of those things, and I think there's a lot of things like that, where people have to eat on the go, whatever they can eat. So you've made this testimony, this resolution, that you're going to eat healthier no matter what.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start off. The first thing was that, you're already on your way because you only made one resolution, which is a cool thing. You didn't make 5. You didn't say, I'm going to do this, and that. So that's good. So you're already 12% there. Okay, so do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you can actually pull this off?
Oh, yeah, I know I can. Because we've already started. We've made the list. We know what we're going to get every time we go to the store. We're getting this, we're staying away from that. We've already cut out all the junk food. All the junk food that we had is now in the trash.
Yay! That's good. So you've already gone the distance to make it happen.
Right.
You're not just hiding stuff in the back of the pantry going, okay, well, just in case.
Well, if there is stuff in the back of the pantry, I did not put it there.
Oh, okay, good.
Good
validation.
throw the Mrs. under the bus. Yeah. How cold is the couch there, Daniel?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. No, but true. I mean, there are issues. There are sidelines, and sometimes people use that as some people can use that as a crutch, but other people use that as a way of validation. So, for example, when I quit smoking a few years ago, I actually kept a pack of cigarettes in my car and a pack of cigarettes in my purse at all times. And the reason and a lighter. And the reason for that is because I didn't want to be that person that was like, oh, I don't have one. That's one side. Because sometimes people that are addicted to smoking, the thing is they don't have one, so then they have to smoke. So I wanted to make sure that was out. But the other thing was I wanted to always be able to have it, but I just knew what was best for me and I didn't smoke. Didn't ever smoke one of those cigarettes. I actually gave those packs to a friend of mine and they were like, oh my gosh, this stuff is so stale. It's the stalest cigarettes, but they still smoked them anyway. They still smoked them. So there you go. And the lighters worked fine too. So, you never know what side of that. But have you used your imagination to see yourself, really making this resolution reality? Have you kind of visualized yourself going into work, carrying your food, doing that kind of thing?
Oh yeah. I've actually done that. I didn't bring anything with me tonight because I ate before I came over here. But in the future, I see myself doing that.
That's good.
Because it's a lot cheaper and it's just more money for me.
See, that's good. And you did your homework. So you were just saying earlier that you actually went to the store, y'all got the right things, you got rid of the other stuff that wasn't good. So you kind of went out of the way to make it happen.
Right.
Okay, you didn't just pile it on top of the stuff that doesn't work.
No.
That's good. See, we're already halfway there.
I'm liking this.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is really good. This works. Okay, this works. And the good thing is you did your homework, but also it seems to me that you said that your wife and you both are agreeing to it. So you're surrounding yourself with other people that are making like-minded choices.
Correct.
Wow. This is good. Like I told you last week, we were talking about that. I was like, the last thing you want to do is try to quit smoking when your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend is sitting there just blowing smoke in your face. going on. I don't know why you want to quit smoking as they chain smoke a whole pack of cigarettes with you. It doesn't work. It's bad, and it makes you sad. And you know what happens usually? You go back. Because somebody needs somebody to smoke with. And the next thing you know, you're saying, well, I'm missing out all this time or whatever. Or just the idea of, I want a cigarette. And this person's smoking cigarettes day and night right in my house. Why aren't I smoking? So you got that covered. This is good. Okay, so number 7. Are you hanging out with people who respect you and your choice? Yes, you are.
Yes.
Gosh. And number 8, have you already caught yourself getting in your own way? Have you ever made any excuses yet?
I did today, but I didn't act on it. Because we were actually sitting there in the living room this afternoon, and both of us were kind of like, well, I'm getting hungry, and I know you're getting hungry. Do you want to go to McDonald's? And we both just kind of, well, no, we can't do that. So we almost slipped back, but we did not.
Good job.
But you had a built-in support system, though. You're kind of helping each other out.
Right.
It's a lot of, I think, Ashley, a lot of times it's better to have like a what do you want to call it? Somebody who can be there to
help
support you,
but also somebody else that's in the same boat.
Yes,
so you both have a stake in it, and so
like a support system.
Yeah, and you have to answer to the other person if you like mess up. If you go to if you went to McDonald's, you'd be like, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" You'd be like, "I'm going to McDonald's." Like, no, you're not. And then go back and forth. So you had somebody else, and you had to sit there and say, "You know what? We shouldn't go." And that was good. So how did you feel after that?
I felt better after that, because one, we saved some money by going there, and then plus we already had stuff in the refrigerator, so all we did was just take it out and just cook it and eat it.
See, that works. See, that's good. That's good, and it applies for a lot of things too. And it doesn't have to, you don't even have to be doing the same resolution as other people. But when people are like-minded, that means that they're wanting to make changes to better their life. They're wanting to make the necessary changes to better their life. And it's not hard to do. People make it a big deal. You'll hear infomercials on it. You'll hear all kinds of shows on it day after day after day about how you have to use their system. No, you just have to follow these 8 things and you got it made. That's it. It's not that hard. It's easy breezy. And that's what's so cool about it. Hey, you want to check out, I've written a lot of blogs and I've gotten some really cool stuff on the website and redone it as well. And I put a lot of work into it.
The new website.
And all you have to do is go to ashleyburges.com.
How do you spell Berges?
It doesn't matter. You can spell it any way you want to, and it's still going to come to me.
Cool.
AshleyBurges.com.
I love it.
So we got the BERGES, or we got the BUR, whatever you want to spell it, but it's AshleyBurges.com. If you've been going to Live Your True Life, that's cool too, because it's going to go there as well. But AshleyBurges.com, just check it out. You're going to really like it because it is so easy to use. It's so easy to take in, and it's so cool to look at. I worked a lot on it. And I'll have to get some props for some other people out there that worked with me. So I really appreciate that. So check it out when you get a chance and look at it because it's got some really good stuff on it. It's even got some more stuff on it that we're going in this direction tonight. You can actually get some little sneak peeks on some stuff that's coming up next week. So when we come back, we'll be talking more about resolutions. We'll finish up talking about Dano's as well as go to Bill's resolution and how he plans to implement his resolution this year. Oh yeah, and I forgot. My resolution is coming up as well after the break. So stay tuned, and there'll be more perspectives with Ashley Burgess. And you know what? Yeah, we'll be back in 2 shakes.
Get in here and give us your perspective. We're listening. You're listening to Perspectives with Ashley Berges.
Here he is. Where? There. What, behind the rabbit? It is the rabbit. You silly sod. What? You got us all worked up. Well, that's no ordinary rabbit. That's the most foul, cruel, and bad-tempered rodent you ever set eyes on.
You tit. I saw my arm and I was so scared.
Look, that rabbit's got a vicious streak a mile wide. It's a killer.
Well, welcome back here live on Perspectives with Ashley Burgess. Glad to have you listening this evening. We're having a great show tonight. We're talking about resolutions. We're talking about New Year's resolutions and how we're going to make them happen. Woo! Yeah. Got my backup singers. You just can't hear them, okay? The mic's not on. Their mic's not on. But anyway, yeah, thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been so great. Yeah, so we're talking. This is an important day. Okay, this is an important day. This is Truth Day. You know, this is Deep Space Day. This is All's Well Day. And Dano, you've been telling us about your health and wellness resolution, and I think this is so awesome. So if you missed this last segment, we were talking to Dano about his resolution. What is your resolution again this year for 2014?
To eat healthier and try to cut out as much fast food as possible.
Okay, so you heard it. He wants to eat healthier. He's going to cut out the fast food whenever possible. And that's a big deal. That's such a big deal because of what the careers that a lot of people have, and I know a lot of people listening agrees with that they don't have the time to eat healthy. And it's true. But you do have the time. You just have to plan. And if this is your resolution, you have to go out of your way and plan. And I think that's so awesome that y'all went to the store, you figured it out, you bought the stuff, you got rid of all this stuff that's not good for you, instead of covering it all up, and you're both on the same page.
Right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You have to give a round of applause. We got another round of applause here. We got to. Woo! Dano, I'm really happy with y'all. I think y'all got it going on. We're going to come back to that because we want to figure out the prognosis. We want to go back in a few weeks here. We're going to talk about that as well because we want to make sure everything's on the same page, you know? And I believe that Dano's going to be there. I believe that he's going to be really making this happen. So, Bill, let's go to Bill. Yes, Billy boy, Billy. So, I know that you have a resolution. You didn't really tell me about it, but you said it was something about career. So,
it is. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I would like to get my own radio show.
Nice.
Yes.
I like that. I like that.
Before the end of the year.
As long as it's not competing against my show, it's okay.
Okay. I won't compete against your show.
Okay, cool.
That's fine. But,
I love it. This is great. Okay, so you want to get your own radio show. This is cool. So this is more of a career-minded extension. I want to do this in my life to do this. So, Dano's more of the health and wellness, which a lot of people are really going after this year, and I believe that it's obviously very accessible as well as successful. Bill is going for career.
Because a lot of people do want to, take steps in their career. I mean, it can be about personal improvement, eating better, whatever. But it can also be improving your career. And I decided to go the career route this year.
I like that one. I think it's very solid. I like it. So, you're already on your way. You have the one resolution, so we got that going for us at 12%. Woohoo!
Woohoo.
Now, do you believe in yourself?
I absolutely believe in myself. I know I can do this. I've been doing the radio business for about 5 years, and I think that I've learned enough. Basically, I've cleared the bar at what I'm doing right now, and I feel like I'm ready to take the next step.
Okay, that's good. So you believe in yourself, consistent. That's good. Now, have you used your imagination, the imagination that you need to really see the resolution becoming a solid reality?
I have. Yes, I can absolutely see myself being on the mic, running my mouth, for a living.
Well, you already do that already.
Already do that, but this is the only time of the week I get to do it, though.
Yeah.
And
you want to do it more?
I want to do it more, yes.
I like that. Okay, cool. Okay, so that works. So you've seen yourself doing it. You're consistently seeing yourself doing that. That's a good thing. That's a solid thing. Do you believe that you can stick with this?
I kind of do.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the kind of?
Well, it's... I've got so many other things going on in my life right now. I'm also trying.
That's kind of an understatement. But
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to finish up school. I've got the video editing stuff I do. I have the.
For everybody that's listening, Bill's got like 900 things on his plate.
Right.
Okay, so obviously sticking to it might be difficult, but yet you believe you can do it.
I believe I can do it if I have the fortitude to really stick to it. That's you know me for a long time, Ashley, and I tend to be kind of impatient.
Yes,
and I
just
tend
a little bit.
Yeah, just a tad. And I think that when things just don't happen for me right away, I can get discouraged.
Well, I think a lot of people listening right now actually feel the same way as you do, because sometimes we want it to have, instantaneous. And because of the world we live in, we're on the internet, and you know what I'm talking about. Think about it. When you're surfing the web and it's like taking a while, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what is wrong with this?
And I'm the first one to start clicking. Come on.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong. What's wrong with this Wi-Fi? Why is it so slow? Oh my god. Look at the pinwheel of death. I got the pinwheel of death. Oh my gosh. Okay, it opened. Okay.
Where's the Tylenol?
Golly, what the heck? I need to call AT and whoever. The point is that, yeah. And that's the thing.
I also have the attention span of a gnat.
I didn't say it.
Well, I mean, hey, I've got no problem admitting that.
I'm not swatting anything. So. I'm not saying it either. But yeah. But it's hard. Everybody, I think, listening feels the same way too. You have this great idea. You want to do it. You believe in it. And you got all this other stuff on your plate. And it's hard to really focus on that one thing sometimes, and sometimes you kind of let things kind of, go by the wayside. I know I have. Later on when we talk about my resolution, it has to do with the same type of thing, that sometimes you can't remember everything all in your headset because your head is only so big, even though they say we only use like 5% of our brain. And I don't know.
I don't think I even use that much.
I feel like it looks like a big piece of lettuce. They're just like, hello. I'm just here hanging out, but y'all don't really use me. But that's okay. Did you do your homework? Yes.
Yes.
I can answer that for you. Okay. Yeah, because you're in this business. You know the business. We don't even need to go into the business here on the radio right now because I know y'all all don't really necessarily want to hear about the business. But yes, so you've done your homework. Okay, so... what about 6? Have you begun surrounding yourself with like-minded people?
Sort of, and I think that's that's probably going to be the biggest roadblock I'm going to need to overcome because I'm not very good at networking, and putting myself out there. Going up to meet people. And by the way, I went home to Amarillo over the Christmas holidays. And met a buddy of mine who's who's got a radio show back in Amarillo.
Oh, cool.
The guy who actually broke me in the business, 5 years ago before I moved here.
Perfect.
And he said something that I thought just knocked me on my socks. It's not, the old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
Actually, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. Because you can go up to somebody, hey, I know you, I'm going to go meet him, and they're not going to give you the time of day if they don't know you. I mean, they may have met you, but if they don't know you, if they don't remember you, they're not going to give you the time of day.
Right.
And so it's about who knows you, and that comes into networking, I think. Don't you agree?
I agree that networking is
And I am horrible at networking.
Yeah, well, I understand. And there's so many facets of networking. That's the thing. It's not just meeting people. It's like taking it to the next level, following through, and then actually meeting people that want to meet you, like you said. You know what I mean? And that's a big deal too. That's interesting. We're going to talk about some stuff like that in a little while. So let me ask you: are you hanging out with people that really respect your choices?
Yes.
Good.
Present company included.
Okay, not excluded.
Not excluded. Included.
He said included.
I said included.
8, have you already caught yourself getting in your own way at all? Have you ever made any excuses already?
Well, yes, and kind of. I think I just did. That's kind of what's going through my brain. It's like I know I can see it in my head, but do I have the fire in the belly to get up and go do it? It's always like, oh, I've got to go meet somebody I don't know and try to sell myself. That's always the excuse I make. Is like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow.
It's easy to do that, and that's what your mind does a lot of times. Our mind puts thoughts in our head to keep us and derail us from succeeding in what we want to do, because it's not normal. It's out of our realm of understanding.
Yeah.
So when we come back, I'm going to be talking about my New Year's resolution this 2014. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about next week's show, and stay tuned, because guess what? Perspectives with Ashley Berges will be back in what? Be back in 2 shakes.
I could lift you up. I could show you what you want to see and take you where you want to be.
Get in here and give us your perspective. We're listening. You're listening to Perspectives with Ashley Berges.
Hey, welcome back to Perspectives live here with Ashley Berges. How are you doing? Wow, we're having a great conversation tonight. We're talking about New Year's resolutions. How to keep yours until 2015 And that's the next year, not this year, okay? 2015, I'm not writing my check wrong all year long. I'm talking about the next year. So how to keep the resolution all the way into the next year. So we've already talked. Dano's doing his health, wellness, eating well, not eating fast food. He and his wife have implemented it. They're working together. Sounds very promising. I think they're going to do this for sure.
Really quick, Ashley, by the way, Subway does not count as fast food. You can eat as much Subway as you want, as long as you don't put like gobs of the full fat ranch on it.
That's for another show. I don't totally agree with that. Don't totally agree. We have not completely approved this message, okay? We got to go back.
Yeah, the opinions expressed on the show.
It's like this has been proven, like this has been paid for by so and so. Yeah, no. But no, I do agree. There's some things that probably would be okay, but we'll get back to that in another show. And Bill was talking about his career, and he wants to make a big change in his career, and I think that's great. And he's really thought through a lot of this stuff, And a lot of times we all, our minds, we have a tendency of trying to get in our own way, right? But I think that when you actually realize you're getting in your own way, it changes everything. Because you can actually recognize, okay, wait, what am I trying to do? Am I trying to literally trip myself? I'm trying to trip myself, okay? So, okay, let's talk about my resolution tonight. Ashley Berges' New Year's resolution for 2014. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I figured it out. I always meet some really, really great people. And, I meet people really easily, and I really
That's
love
an
to meet
understatement.
My only drawback is that I usually don't have the time, or I don't make all the time to follow through and to follow up with these people. And let's put it this way, okay? Visualize this. Picture this. 2013. Ashley has stacks of business cards, like stacks of cards with rubber bands wrapped around them, and I would try to go through them and send out an email to 1 or 2 people or 3 people, and I finally get to the 5 or 6, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got to do the rest of this tomorrow, and so I do a little bit, and then I finally let it go, and then finally I went to Office Max or Office Depot or one of those places, and I got those cases where you put the cards in there, and it's got the cute it's kind of like the leather book where you can see all the cards, and it's clear see-through little epoxy stuff, whatever, and you can see all the cards. You kind of flip through the pages, So I got those. So I upgraded my card collection. I made it look really good. I mean, it's professional looking. I mean, I could have baseball cards in that. People's baseball cards. But no, they're business cards. And I haven't been able to follow through with catching up with these people. And a lot of these people I met are really neat people. And we could probably work together. There could be some really neat stuff going on. And I haven't gotten around to it. I'm so overwhelmed by it. And so it's I got this card collection that could master anybody's card collection. I mean, I would say at least 5,000 to 10,000 business cards in the last year.
And that... I know those of you who are listening are kind of going but knowing you, Ashley, that does not surprise me one bit, because you are the exact opposite of me. This is where I wish I was more like you. You have no problem going up to a complete stranger in a room full of it could be 1,000 people in that room. You have no problem going around to each and every single person, and just like you're their best friend for life. And me, I'm the one that's off in the corner going, gee, I hope nobody notices me.
Well, I'll take you next time, and we're going to have fun. I'm going to take you, I'll introduce you all around to people I haven't ever met yet, but we will have a good time. And you'll be everybody's best friend. It'll be good. But I got to follow through. I got to follow through with emailing people and calling them back. And that's one thing I've really slacked off on. And to be honest with you, I was looking through the cards, my really cool card decks on the first, and I was like, this is a problem. This has really become a problem because there's some really cool people I could have connected with. So that is my resolution, is when I meet people, to take the time, no matter how little time I have, to follow through and connect with them, because there's a reason why I met them, right? And there's a reason why they met me. So, okay, the first thing, I'm going to do a monologue, actually. And y'all got to, chime in here. I'm going to do a monologue on myself here. Okay, so first off, Ashley, are you, is this just one resolution? Yeah, actually, I just have the one resolution, so that's cool. Okay, 2. So, do you believe in yourself? Yeah, I definitely believe in myself. I believe that this is obviously an option because I already see it happening right now, and I've already imagined it. Actually, before you even asked me, Ashley, I've already imagined it, that I'm actually following through with it.
Ashley, have you already imagined it?
I have imagined it, and it is reality. which is cool. Okay, fourth, do you believe that you're going to stick with it? Yeah, I do believe, actually, that I'm going to really stick with it because I think it's something that's good for me. And I know that it's a good thing to do because otherwise, why am I meeting people? Why am I going out of my way? Why don't I just tell people I don't want to talk? I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to meet you. I don't have time for you. That's not the way I feel, so I need to follow through with actually making it happen. I mean, I run into people all the time, and they're like, oh, I remember you from da-da-da-da, or whatever. And I think, man, I should have just emailed that person or called them up on the phone. And I think a lot of times what gets in my way, okay, is this stuff we got going on in this world. Oh, well, should I call them? Maybe they only want to be emailed. Or maybe I should only text. And it's like, you know what? I'm just going to do whatever form of communication I can do. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'll tell you one thing. Not doing any communication is probably not working. Right? I mean, at least the chances, okay, they don't call you back. They don't call you back. You know? Big deal. It's their loss, right? However, I haven't even figured out the smoke signal thing. So if I'm not returning or if I'm not emailing, nothing. They probably aren't listening to their own consciousness deep enough to realize that I'm actually thinking about them. However, if you are and you're listening to this show, you know that I actually am trying to make amends on this, and I appreciate you sticking with me. You know, okay, so Ashley, have you done your homework? Yes, I've done my homework. Actually, I feel like I've done my homework. What do you think? I think I've done my homework. Bill, you think I've done my homework?
I think that you've done your homework, and you've had it checked twice, and you've had it proofread, and I think you are ready to go.
Yeah, I think I'm surrounding myself with like-minded people because I'm surrounding myself with y'all. And I'm surrounding myself with listeners that are trying to make big changes in their life. And that's what's all important because if you're making changes in your life, I've already done all the smoking and this and that. And I've already made those changes. This is a change I need to make because this is something that's important to me. And I think that no matter if it's eating better or if it's changing your life and your career and whatever it might be, these are important because if it matters to you, it matters to you. And that's awesome. Have I been surrounding myself with like-minded people? Sure. I mean, I believe that obviously being in right now where I am with people that are trying to change their life for the better and really doing it and believing in it, I'm definitely already done that. And I'm not going to try to sabotage myself because I realize that I'm already sabotaging myself. I've already done it. The sabotage is already being done because I have a collection of cards.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't like 1960s or 1950s or 1940s like Dodgers or these aren't like collectibles. These are actual people's communication cards, and I need to follow through with actually making the point to take the next step. Because I know a lot of times we also feel like, oh, well, they didn't take the step. Why do I have to take the step? But that's life. Sometimes you have to take the extra. You have to do the extra. You have to go the extra mile. You have to do more than other people do because if you really care about it, because otherwise nobody would probably communicate at all. I mean, who would have communicated? Half of the people we know wouldn't even talk to each other because they'd be like, well, they didn't call me first, so I'm not calling them. I've had enough of this. I'm not falling into this pattern again. And that's just the way life is. And lastly, Ashley, have you caught yourself making any excuses? Sure. I don't have enough time. My time's already taken. I already got this going on. I mean, it's the same excuses. It's the same deal. Patterns are hard to break, especially brain wave patterns. When you make a pattern and you say, I can't do this over and over again, you automatically feel like you can't do it. But you have to train yourself to do it. Just like Dano, when y'all were like, both of you, let's go to McDonald's. And you both had to stop for a second, look at each other and go, oh, we can't do that.
Like, put on the brakes.
Yeah.
But it almost was second nature, though.
Yeah, it was. I mean, because it was just more convenient, because might as well just go and get it and then come back.
Yeah.
Because it's already cooked. We don't have to do any cooking.
It's already done.
Yeah.
We've done this so many times before, too. This is consistent. We're following a consistent pattern that we've done a million times before, right?
Yeah.
Like me looking at that card book going, wow, look at these nice shiny cards. Yeah, I don't have time. And I think that we're trying to get out of our comfort zone. And I read that today on one of the posts that was made to me, and thank you for making that post. You were getting out of your comfort zone to take on your New Year's resolution, and I applaud you for that. So, we're talking... Next week, we're going to be talking about success. We're going to be talking about really implementing these into our daily life. But we're also going to be talking about 2014 and things that we're hoping to see, things we want, thoughts that we have. And, really just, our overall persona. And I think in general, our perspectives are what's important, because all we have in life, really, if you take it away, we all have our individual perspective. We have our individual thought. We have our individual think and feel of a situation. No two people can have the same perspective. So we're going to begin really talking about how perspective really colors your life, how it really changes the way you see things, and how it can make you see something completely different from the person standing right next to you, which means a lot, because we all have our own perspective. Hey, by the way, when you get a chance, go online to the new website. My new website. It's all blue and gold. It's so cool. AshleyBurgess.com. AshleyBurgess.com has got it all. I got great blogs. We got the radio show, which is easy to listen to. You can listen to it on your phone. It's real easy breezy. And we got a lot of cool stuff on there. You can hear all of our past shows, Dano, Billy, and I talking and having a good time and cutting it up, as well as anything that's relevant that you need to hear and the things that can help change your life. So, next week we got a good show. We're going to be really introducing our whole concept of perspectives. We're going to be introducing the idea of how we see the world and how you see the world. And we want to hear from you as well. So you can always go online and send us a message, as well as you can always call in next week. And if we're right on target with you, we want to hear exactly what you have to say. So from us here at Perspectives with Ashley Burgess, we can't wait to see you next week, and we'll be back in 3 shakes.